Hi everyone, and welcome to the Automotive Logistics Red Sofa here at Finished Vehicle Logistics North America 2025. A lot going on, to say the least. And I'm here with Goel, who leads Vehicle Logistics and Service Parts as EVP for Volkswagen Group of America. Anu, as mentioned, okay, we've got tariffs. We'll get to that a little bit, I'm sure. But we've also had a couple of years of disruption up and down. And one of the things you're here is to talk to us about lessons learned, about how you've changed and reshaped some of the organization at Volkswagen Group here in North America. So just start by telling us a little bit about how you've changed the structure of the organization and perhaps how it's helping with some of those lessons learned.
Okay. Well, thank you for having me. And the genesis of our change was about 18 months ago when we had a backlog in Mexico, and we realized each country was making decisions for their own best interest. That's what the performance reviews, KPIs, everything said. So we came up with a restructuring plan, and we created a North American region finished vehicle logistics organization. Now with legal implications and personnel and performance reviews, you still have to have the local people reporting to local managers. But what we created was we have one person on the ground in each country, a director, senior director of vehicle logistics. They handle in-market domestic movements. But then we created a cross-border guru or a senior manager for cross-border logistics. And their job was to get transparency on metrics, alignment on metrics, right? So everyone's using the same definition, and then develop the best decision for the region. Not for each country, but for the region. Put that in place, and since then, our performance has significantly improved.
And you know, what would you say have been some of the key takeaways in that approach, in that restructuring?
Thinking as a team, realizing that we're all in this together and not as an individual country. And I think at the end of the day, when people see numbers that are now transparent and aligned, you make better business decisions. It's simple, right? But it's so hard to put into place.
Well, and it's on that. So if we talk about taking holistic decisions, right? And as you said, not making the decision that is best optimized for Mexico or for the US, but for the whole region. Are there tools, technology, processes you've put in place to help you make that holistic decision?
Yeah, what we've done is we've simplified reporting. Every country had its own reports. We've come up with, you still have some level of intercompany reports for stuff that's moving within the borders, but we have come up with simplified metrics, arguably 3, 4, 5, with the same definition that we review in twice a week calls. And that if you ask anybody that's in the team, they can recite those verbatim.
And that obviously helps to ensure that each mutual stakeholder agrees effectively, is sort of everyone singing from the same hymn sheet.
Yeah, you still have internal company or internal country politics, but at the end of the day, everyone starts rowing in the same direction.
So obviously, you know, we continue to see a lot of change in the market, even besides the tariff, whether it was regulations, market shifts, etc. How you've been working ahead to try to prepare for some of these changes?
It's a fantastic question. I would argue that if we had not done this tariff chaos would have been significantly worse, right? Because we are making decisions day to day. This is not what's your strategy. When you have the level of uncertainty that we have today, how do you develop a strategy to handle something like that? So what's happening is we are making week-to-week, day-to-day decisions. And when you have a team that's together thinking for the region, does this boat leave Mexico Friday? And if it doesn't, what happens in Mexico? Is that better or worse than bringing the cars to the U.S. and clearing them at a 25, 27.5, 52.5% tariff? So had we not put this in place, we'd have chaos, not just the tariff chaos, we would have internal politics and chaos.
So it's absolutely been a key measure to be able to have that visibility and move ahead of it. I mean, obviously, you say so much uncertainty. We don't really know what the long-term situation will look like. But assuming that the tariffs were to remain in place, I mean, what role do you think vehicle logistics and this organization will play in helping to, let's say, reshape what needs to be reshaped in the network?
I think the role that vehicle logistics will play is how fast can we recover? Because the tariffs do not impact every OE to the same extent, because everyone's got a different global footprint, everyone's got a different domestic footprint, you got different content of parts coming in. So company A may end up with a total tariff of of let's pick a number, 17%. Company B may be 27.5%. So how companies position their offerings, right, with the incentives, the tacticals, how they charge the fee that may be associated with the tariff, not passing all of it on, is going to create this competitive playing field that is not even. So what that'll cause for us is at some point, we've been holding cars or not holding cars, someone's going to say go. And since if you've passed up 2, 3, 4, 5 boats, you got 12,000 cars sitting around. They don't materialize in the U.S. and Canada overnight. So I think the challenge for the vehicle logistics teams will be how fast can we recover? The rule of thumb we've been using is every week we hold is 2 to 4 weeks to recover. So if you hold for, let's say, 10 weeks, right, just do the math. How fast can you get this back in market? Because the companies that can get the cars back in the market, because dealers are going to be starved, right, because customers are taking cars now, dealer inventory is coming down, are going to have a competitive advantage getting sales.
Absolutely. Well, as you say, and these are not things we can't influence the policy decisions, but we can know exactly where we stand, at least in terms of what the inventory on the ground and what we need to do to recover. Maybe last question I wanted to touch on, where last year you spoke about also developing a control tower to enhance the view across the network and the potential to integrate AI or other kind of tools. Can you give us an update on where you are with that? Are you looking or you have been able to integrate analytics and AI into such processes?
Yeah, another good question. Obviously, we're not where I'd like to be today, but we are further off than where we were. So I always start with the mantra of what are the common KPIs? Do we have the aligned definitions? Because everyone has different definitions. So check and check. Those two are there. We have automated reporting now. That is there. We have data analytics. That is there. Do I have the AI built into it yet? Nope. And that's part of the conversation. We have 2 members from our team that are going to be here. I think it's on Wednesday. They're going to be talking exactly about what we're doing next steps. So we've got 4 of the 5 ticked, and the 5th one is coming.
And then that's exciting because actually to get AI, you need that data strategy. You need actually clarity on what that data is before you implement it. Anu, as mentioned, I mean, what a time to be coming together here as a community. It certainly has its stresses, but it's very exciting to know that at least the steps that have been taken are helping you to have a better visibility and make better decisions ahead. So thank you so much for sharing with us. It's incredibly useful. We look forward to having your presentation and further discussion with the event.
All right, thank you. Yeah, it's the last word I'd leave you with is we did this for a very specific reason, and we actually got an unintended benefit out of it. Because usually unintended consequences are bad, but this one has worked out in our favor.
Absolutely. So stay tuned. We'll bring you more insights from Anu's presentation and, of course, more from Finished Vehicle Logistics North America and here on the Red Sofa throughout the days ahead on LinkedIn and our website. Thanks so much for being with us.